Hello there, everybody. It's Claire Boscott. I am your host today for my series of mystery shopping expert interviews. And today it's not that far today. I mean, I've had Australia, I've had Portugal, I've had America. Today, we're pretty close today, aren't we? Today, we are in the UK today, and I'm welcoming David. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Good morning. Nice to see you.
So David, you have got a mystery shopping company called ProInsight.
Correct. Yes.
And how long have you been in? How did you get to do that? Because it's a bit of a, it is a bit
Weird.
Did you start?
Yeah. Look, we're based out of London, and we're probably about 6 years old now. And how did I get into it? I've worked for a few other businesses before where I was getting mystery shop myself, or my centre facility, whatever you want to call it, was getting mystery shops. So I was always sort of receiving these mystery shops thinking that, a lot of the time they were quite tick boxy and quite audity. I thought perhaps I could, there's opportunities here to do something a little bit different, a little bit better than what I was receiving. I won't name any names of the companies that I was receiving mystery shops from. And then I was starting to work for a consultancy company, and within that consultancy company, we started offering some mystery shopping. What was started to happen was the mystery shopping element of our business was sort of just gradually growing. Once you sort of start mystery shopping as an organisation, invariably you tend not to stop it because you start to sort of see some improvements. You start to things change, and because it's measuring people are never static. So therefore, you never get to 100%. You never get to the top of the mountain. There's always challenges along the way. So that bit was growing, and the consultancy stuff was kind of quite, I guess, flat. It was doing okay, but it wasn't necessarily growing. So I took the decision about 6 years ago to sort of separate the consultancy business from the mystery shopping business, and hence ProInsight. And now that's all we do. We want to become sort of best in class at mystery shopping and be known for that, really.
Mm. And do you specialize in a special industry, or do you actually work across all industries?
Okay, yeah, good question. So the places I was working for before, the organisations were all in the health and fitness sector.
Right.
So organisations like David Lloyd and GLL are two companies that I worked for. So I was sort of quite embedded in that sector, I guess. I've been working in that space for about 10 years, so I had quite a little network. So when I set up ProInsight, I was able to sort of, the easy wins really for me were just go out to my connections within the leisure sector and pretty much sell mystery shopping to every health club, gym, spa in the UK, and that's sort of what I did. So I would say we specialise in that sector purely because me and the senior management team have all worked in that sector. But there's so many other sort of skills that you could, transferable skills in this space, as you well know. So we've been able to, probably the last 2.5 years, 3 years, been able to sort of branch out into new spaces and new sectors, and so I'd say we're probably learning as much as anything else in this working with new sectors, and even in mystery shopping. There's lots of organisations out there, as we know from the association we're both part of. There's people who've been doing it 25 years, and when I've only been doing it sort of 5 years, I'm always sort of listening and thinking, it's a great idea. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And just trying to refine our offering.
And I think that's what it is. I mean, we are both on the MSPA association, Mystery Shopping Provider Professional Association, and I think that's what I've always loved about it is, although we're all doing the same thing, and in a way we're all kind of little competitors of each other, the amount of learnings that we're all doing from each other, and the collaborations that we're doing, and oh yes, that's a good idea, we could do this, we could do that, that's really, really powerful for us as an industry, and working in that, because it's quite a small industry compared to if you're looking at other industries. So it's nice to be able to share that knowledge and the best practice and be together towards that same goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. Because also at the very beginning of finding ProInsight, I was sort of sitting in my spare bedroom and sort of on my own, and it's sort of, you sort of feel a bit lonely. And if you're part of an association, you sort of, just by doing little calls like this, you're sort of building networks, you're learning, you're developing, and so yeah, I think I've been part of other industries before where sharing isn't probably part of what they do because there's so much, perhaps intellectual property that people don't want to share, and their competitive edge is things that they don't want to share. But I don't know. I've been quite surprised by some of the collaboration that's gone on within this particular association, and how everyone's quite willing to share. And so I've just got on board with that. And last week I was we did their yearly conference virtually, and I did a case study, and I was probably sharing quite a lot of information about a particular client. And but I think if everyone does a little bit of that, we'll all just we'll all be better off as a result of it, rather than trying to be all cagey and trying to keep our sort of knowledge to ourselves. Because the key goal here is that we want more organisations doing mystery shopping. We want more people within organisations valuing mystery shopping, and if we can together achieve those goals and professionalise the sector, then we're all going to win and benefit from that.
Absolutely. And how's things at the moment? How's things at the moment in the UK in terms of the business, and are things slowing down, moving a little bit again?
Well, look, we had a sort of pretty dreadful 3 months. We probably had about 140 clients that the end of March just all pretty much stopped. I think 2 clients carried on through the lockdown, which was about 3 or 4 months, where we had very little work. So the government furlough schemes really helped, because we were able to sort of keep a couple of people ticking over, doing some sort of social media and some shopper training, things like that during the downtime. But generally we hibernated business for 4 months. But then we not knowing when the things were going to get moving again, and when lockdown was going to be eased, we sort of started to increase the resource to start to communicate with our clients a little bit more. And we've got well over half of our clients back mystery shopping, and so there's still a proportion of those organisations that aren't mystery shopping yet, but that's understandable because some of these locations still aren't open. In the UK, you've still got nightclubs and a few others that are still shut, and you've still got some of our clients that are just not comfortable yet, and that's okay. We're trying to be as understanding as possible, and we're ready to go when they are. We've got shoppers that want to get out and do stuff. I think probably the challenge is that while things have been improving, we've reached a point now where there's obviously, when you watch the news at the moment, there's a lot more negativity, and the numbers are rising and cases are increasing, and that's causing local lockdowns, which has its own challenges. And just hope there's hoping that some of the local lockdowns, some of the new protocols the government have put in place avoid a second lockdown, because I think that's devastating for our sector, because the minute everything shuts is the minute that we just have to shut our businesses again. And then it's not just the shutdown period, it's the mobilisation again that is the pain, really, because that takes time, and you've got to judge when to bring resource back and when you're going to move again. So.
And do you think, have you found as well that you've had to change some of the questions perhaps, and pivots actually the questionnaire that was used for previously to adapt to COVID-19 and what's going on?
Yeah, good point. I think pretty much all of our clients have changed something in their customer journey as a result of this. So every client and every survey has had to change. So again, there's no, that's just part of the experience, really, that we need to change, and we don't charge a client to do any of that. So it's almost more work for us, but it's a necessity. What we probably notice is that more of our clients are moving, as you'd expect, really, starting to move much more online, and therefore the type of mystery shops we are delivering now was different. The profile of them was different to what it was sort of pre-COVID. We probably do 80% of our visits at our mystery shops were sort of face-to-face, physical, someone sending someone into a location, whereas now I'd say it's probably 50-50. Half of those are done virtually or over the phone or from home, and the other half are done sort of in physical locations. So the makeup's just changing, and I think that's probably going to be the way of the future. I think more businesses, we work with quite a few car dealerships which have all got virtual showrooms. Just as an example, you can now sort of go onto a dealership and choose your car select your car, have a conversation with a sales agent. You can basically buy a car there and then put a deposit down. Whereas that was a bit more tricky sort of 6-8 months ago. So it's probably not so much us pivoting, it's more our clients pivoting and then us having to pivot off the back of it.
And being able to adapt to that as well, I guess, it's, anything that is online, even mystery shopping, virtual events and things like that, how the events are working, how the online, how the chat box, those kind of things that, are new for mystery shopping companies, which probably we would have not think about mystery shopping chat box, but now it's really important. Response time, how friendly, how efficient, those kind of things that perhaps the new communications have opened, and actually the customer journey needs to be just as sleek, whether it's a chat box or whether it's a face-to-face.
No, you're right, and I think I'm probably pretty lucky because the team I've got here are young and they're quite sort of early adopters in terms of tech. So it's not, and all of these guys that I work with have sort of all been using chatbots, all been using sort of virtual sessions, and sort of for them it's almost that's no different to the norm, and what we're shopping now is what they're used to. So it might be a bit more challenging if you're not used to using chatbots and not used to using digital sort of experiences and things. So fortunately for us, it's probably not too much of a change. It's just because it's what the guys are used to, really.
Yeah. Yes, that's the team. They'll lead you. They'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, they're better than me. They
like
make me look good.
They'll tell me how to use things. Not yours, not quite yet. Not yours. They are.
No, I've got. It's 2.5-year-olds. They're just expanding their vocab at the moment.
Excellent. So what's something that before? I mean, it was before also and after. What are the biggest challenges that you see in organizations?
I think every business has challenges around sort of budgets and priorities, and where does mystery shopping really sit within a budget? Does it sit within a marketing budget for an organisation, or does it sit within an operations budget? And typically, because mystery shopping is something that you don't need, it's not a necessity, it's not compliance, it's not it's not always at the top of the list. So when something like the virus hits, or a business goes through a challenging time, then mystery shopping is one of those things that organisations just sort of think, okay, well, there's a X saving there, we'll just park that. So that's always been a challenge, because it's trying to prove a return on investment is very challenging. And we've tried over the last sort of probably 12 months to create a few stories, create a few case studies where we demonstrated some slightly different return on investments for different clients. So whether that's a purely sort of monetary return on investment for I think of some of the organisations we work with. So whether that's a leisure centre or leisure organisation that's had more members join as a result of us mystery shopping their facility. We've got some examples of that now on our website. Whether it's whether it's an organisation like the British Army generating more soldiers into the British Army as a result of them understanding their candidate recruitment process better and improving that, or whether it's just an organisation like David Lloyd getting 6% more of their customers feeling they belong there at their gym or their club. We're trying to eke out the sort of business improvements as a result of mystery shopping, which I think is really tricky, because all those organisations, they're not just doing mystery shopping. Mystery shopping is one element, but they're doing lots of training, and they've got great leadership, and they've got other elements in their business that are part of their suite of services, things they do to improve the customer journey. So it's hard to pinpoint it down to mystery shopping, but we're trying to ride the wave on with a few of our clients and try and understand the impact that mystery shopping as a part of their suite has had on their business. So we'll continue to do that really, and try to keep improving case studies, so that then when we talk to new businesses, we can demonstrate a return.
And I think you're right. I mean, it is really, when you think about it, mystery shopping is only one element as part of a whole customer experience strategy. This is probably what sometimes is missing, is they're doing one thing, but they're not doing the others. And so you don't get the full benefit of actually doing all those things together, so they move the needle further, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's always about looking how you can improve, but how, from the customer's point of view and from the employee's point of view, I think a lot of work has had to be done also on the employee's point of view. I mean, I know it's been a big thing, you know, employees' engagement, and during that COVID-19 was quite incredible how everybody had to change and think differently to get your employees to really be involved into what's going on and be more engaged.
Do you think that, I mean, I think that during the lockdown, we were running quite a lot of our team were off work and were furloughed. So we were running sort of, I don't know, every business does it, but we were sort of doing, business updates on a Friday about what's happening, what's going on. And then we were doing a sort of team quiz every Friday night over a beer. And that was, all of our team attended these sessions on Friday evening, and then during the week we would do, line managers would do wellbeing calls and make sure that there's just the team are, sort of happy and everything's fine. And I have to say that since there's definitely since we've come back from lockdown, we've got a slightly smaller team because some people are still sort of only working part-time, and we've had a couple of people leave, going back to university and things like that. I think that the team is sort of, I have to say, like, more motivated than ever. And there's definitely the sense that, we're all in this together, and, we've all got to work harder, smarter, better than we did pre-COVID, because we haven't got some of the luxuries we once had. I don't know, maybe it's just in my little business where I feel that the team is sort of, we're almost all in together, we're going to war together, you know what I mean? And there's much better cohesiveness around the shared goals that perhaps before this there wasn't. Maybe we're all working in little silos and little departments doing our own thing. I think now we're sort of through this period. I don't suppose it's anything we've done. Maybe it is, or maybe it's just the state of the nation at the moment. We all sort of feel like we're on a path to sort of get the business back, so to speak.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, I've always been talking about bringing more care into our businesses, and that was pre-pandemic, and now I feel that it's just you have to do it. You have to care more. You have to ask everybody how they are. You have to bring them together, and this really shows what you've done with your team, whether you meant it or not. It has brought everybody together, and that's what a company really needs to do. Because if if they don't trust you, if you're not transparent, if you're not making them feel valued, you're losing it. And that's, I think will be a big challenge for larger organization when we come out of it.
Yeah, I think that's where small businesses have the upper hand, really, being super transparent. The guys upstairs, every morning we just pull the chairs around and we just get a cup of coffee at 9 and just have a chat and talk about what the plans are today. And there's only sort of 7 or 8 of us upstairs every day, and we're all on this. Yes, we're still one level. It's not a really hierarchy. And so there's complete transparency in what we're doing. It's hard to do that in a big business when there's the owners aren't sort of sitting in the office with you, you know what I mean, and they're not sharing what's really going on and how the business is performing. Whereas these guys, there's a board upstairs, and we've got our clients are on hold, our clients are back in the game, and the money we're making every month, they know it's all red at the moment, and they can see that. So there's going back to that shared goal. They know that the goal we hit this year isn't, we're not going to make profit this year. We just get through it, really. And I think that's yeah.
That's the idea. And you said as well something interesting just earlier. I'm just catching up on what you said. You said during the quiet time you've been doing some extra training for your mystery shoppers. So how many mystery shoppers do you have on your books?
We've got 25,000 mystery shoppers in our books, but don't get too carried away with that, because people will join mystery shopping agencies because, you know, they're sitting on a Friday night, they look at their bank account and think, I need to do something here, and, you know, look on Google, and mystery shopping looks like an easy way of earning cash. And invariably, when you join a panel of mystery shopping panel, it doesn't mean to say you're going to, you know, actually going to do any work. And we might not have any work available, particularly at the moment, where our jobs are sort of, you know, a lot lower, and therefore there's, you know, we haven't got the volume that we once had. So I think from the 25,000, we've probably got, you know, 5,000 have done, you know, a fair bit of work for us, and then I would say a hardcore of, you know, 500 to 1,000 people that do regular work for us. But a lot of our programs need, you know, fresh faces to, you know, if you go into, I don't know, to look at buying a house, for example, and spend sort of an hour with a sales associate, then you really can't go and do that location again for at least a year, because that person could still be there, and the likelihood is they'll be like, oh, you look familiar. So we have to lock people out of certain locations, certain visits. So we need to keep generating new faces, and actually during lockdown we probably had more than ever. We're getting sort of 700-800 a month joining mystery shoppers. We just haven't got enough work for them all. That's more the challenge now.
I know. It's keeping them busy as well with the work and interested part of it. What does it take to be a good mystery shopper then? What's the good? What do you look into when you take on somebody?
Well, we have an online assessment that sounds incredibly dull, and I think do you know what? I think it needs to be a little bit dull. I think it needs to be, because what tends to happen with our website is that, you know, you'll see an advert about mystery shopping somewhere, and ProInsight's name will come up, and you'll think, okay, this is going to be easy. I'm going to earn loads of cash being a mystery shopper. And you land on our website, and I guess it's a bit like a funnel. You know, for every 100 people that arrive on our website and think it's going to be easy, they have to then do a sort of 20-minute assessment. And that we've tried to make it as fun as possible. So it's a bit of spelling, a bit of grammar, a bit of watching looking at a picture and then comment, you know, sort of recalling things within that picture. So we're looking for people that can spell, that can write, because part of our, I guess, value proposition is that we want to tell a story. We want our shoppers to tell a story, right? And that's why I think we're a little bit unique, because we're not sort of audit driven. We're not like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, here's your 100% or whatever. Ours is, you know, we encourage our shoppers to tell a story about when they're there, you know, what happened. What do they really like? What was their pain points? So we're looking for people that can spell, that can write. We're looking for people that can recall information. So if I ask you to, you know, if for example, if I, you know, after this call, I'd need to know what was in the background, what colour blouse you're wearing, what coat you're wearing, and perhaps what that Chinese symbol means. They're the kind of things that I'd be trying to ask out of our shoppers to actually recall. What tends to happen is, because it's 20 minutes and it's a bit of work and you don't get paid for that, you know, we go from 100 people up here to 10 people that actually end up on our panel, and then we ask about 45 questions about themselves, so we know, you know, things like you know, what mobile phone contract they have, what their favourite coffee they drink, what paper they read, how much they earn, just a whole
they drive,
a real sort of what car they drive, do they own their own house, do they rent, you know, so we get a real picture of each mystery shopper, so that way we can really start to target, you know, the right shopper to go to the right location. You know, a lot of our clients have sort of certain, you know, demographics they're looking for within their sort of target audience, and so we also set for each shopper, we know their mosaic profile, so it's a marketing category, so that if you know, we're working with a particular, I don't know, we work with Hollywood Bowl, for example, the UK's leading bowling company, and they've got a sort of certain target audience, and therefore they might dictate that we want to send in shoppers from these 6 categories, but we don't want the other 4 categories because they just aren't our sort of target audience. So we just do a bit of work, really. So we only end up with very few mystery shoppers at the very end, actually, which is good, because I think what I'm trying to say is that we end up with a cream rather than just a load of people that just want to earn cash, because quite frankly, I want people that want to earn, that want to work hard, that want to give great insight to our clients.
Yeah.
Because all that happens is if we get naff mystery shoppers that don't recall, don't write well, that just it just gives a blockage down the line. The client either get what they get inaccurate information, poor quality information. Our quality controllers that review every mystery shop, they just get fed up with me and moan because they have to do 3 times the amount of work. Yeah. So it works at the beginning. If we get the right quality the right quality of mystery shopper, someone just wants to give a little bit of time and get paid for that time. But I think the hard thing about mystery shopping is, you know what, you're never going to be a millionaire doing it. It's not a particularly lucrative space. But if you're like you and like me and enjoy service, good service, and enjoy feeding back on not so good service, then I think it's a great role, and it can supplement other income as well. So it could be that you're already working full time, and a lot of our shops are quite good fun. So you could go out and go bowling at the weekend with your family, and you're getting paid to do something that actually is quite good fun.
Mm. And it is, I think, I think when I was recruiting as well, one of my questions was always about, why do you want to do this? And, when you see, oh, I love shopping, so I'll be very good at it. It wasn't like, it's not quite there. Whereas when you hear somebody and they're like, I really would like to help improving, service delivery, for me, I'm on an island, so making our island better, more pleasant. Yeah. Place to shop, and this is like, tick. Because you have somebody who not just only is intrigued by doing it, but has that real,
there's a sort of desire it's a cause at the end of it. They're trying to make the island better. I love that.
I know, that's
How is Jersey? Is Jersey all right?
We're good, actually. We are good. The border had shut down pretty early on, and now they've put very slick coming in and out kind of testing and things. So the island is looking quite good. It's slow, but it's slowly kind of, starting to kind of look at like we're back to some kind of normality kind of. I don't think it's anything like
No, and I bet tourism must have been hit pretty hard because, it's a beautiful place, Jersey, isn't it? And, so much of that economy depends on, people flying in for weekends and for...
Absolutely. I mean, so hopefully, we think about forward next year, maybe Jersey will be a best place to come and travel because people won't want to go too far. So, if you're in the UK or whatever, it'll be a really good space. But at the moment, there's still a lot of uncertainty and, what's going on. And it's that shoulder months, isn't it, where it usually is quite quiet anyway, but you can't have conferences, you can't have the big meetings, you can't have, all those big things, which usually keeps the kind of the months going. Well, thank you so much, David, for joining me today. It was just really amazing. Just if anybody wants to do some work with you or wants to become a mystery shopper, a proper, engaged, really kind of motivated
storytelling mystery shopper.
Storytelling mystery shopper. Where do they find you? What's your website address?
Yeah, just head to www.proinsight.org. And it's pretty straight. We've just launched our new website actually last week, so it's pretty straightforward at the top. They've got it. I'm a business looking to mystery shop, or I'm a mystery shopper looking to do some assignments. Mystery shop, and just choose the right one, and look, then one of the team will get in touch with you pretty quickly. Yeah,
excellent. The website is very nice, very slick actually.
Thank you.
I'll put the details underneath there so that
amazing.
Click on it. And then, I hope to see you again very, very soon, whether
so.
Virtually or face-to-face on the conference next year, maybe.
Definitely. Awesome. Nice to see you. Take care.
Thank you so much.
See you later. Bye-bye. Bye.